Happy New Year! Merry Christmas. Hi, how are you?
Almost.
Welcome.
We'll be there soon.
We're almost there. Today's the 19th, of December. So yeah, we're almost near Christmas. The girl AJ, the Suburban Princess. It's my boy ADB. What's up?
Hey, what's up?
All right, we're not even gonna front. AJ forgot to hit live button, so this is like, there's no way to be subtle about this. Okay, I just wanted to start. Welcome to Birds of a Feather, the Code Edition. It's your girl AJ, whatever. Anyway, so bottom line is the Eagles won, and Eddie and I are giddy, but at the same time, AJ is a Virgo and very critical and did like the way they won. So we'll start with the positive. Eddie, what can you say about this game that I'm going to nitpick about?
I don't know if you're a nitpicker what I say, but it was brutal for a minute. Really brutal for a minute. I mean, the defenses were like just teeing off on each other on both offenses.
Yes,
like, it was like okay, but I had a feeling we'd find an answer, and they did. I mean, that last touchdown that I don't know how they got that last touchdown. That was like a blown. Honestly, I'm looking at that last touchdown that Chicago got. I'm like, how the fuck did that happen?
That was a whoops. That was totally a whoops.
It was like, somebody was supposed to hang back and cover that guy. They did not do it.
I think somewhere between Slay or somebody who was supposed to help him up top, somebody screwed up the assignment. So
they thought they were going to get Justin dead to rights, and it didn't work.
And something
because they were tagging him all game. They were beating him up. I mean, so
yeah. Well, the best thing about the defense was how many sacks came out of it, as we were talking about prior to recording.
They were up to 55 on the year so far.
Shout out to Josh Sweat and Hargrave. And did BG get any? I think it was Hargrave.
Did he get one?
I thought it was more Sweaty and Hargrave that got most of them.
Hargrave and Reddick and Reddick.
And Reddick, of course. Duh. How could I not forget about
Reddick?
The flying Negro. He was the flying Negro. Literally all over. He was all over people. He was giving Justin Fields a headache. Although we're gonna act like we didn't see it, but again, I'm a nitpicker, and we just gonna let it. We can't let it slide that Justin Fields ran through everybody for literally almost a touchdown for that one play in the first half. So there was a moment where obviously a gap was missed.
I thought Reddick had him tackled. I don't know how he got out of that. He slipped right out of that.
He shook him. He shook him, and then he literally danced and.
He didn't even shake Reddick. Reddick had him up high. He had his he slipped right out from his hands.
He just went like this.
Yeah. I was like, how the hell did that happen?
Yeah, he played magician.
I thought Reddick had his third sack right there, and it was like, nope.
He was like, nope, you missed me. It's like that commercial says, got to try again. Better than that. Right. Yeah, it was the first half was just all bet. It was slow. I didn't know what the play calling was. I didn't like Jalen running as much as he was. I mean, again, he went a little too much.
He held the ball. He held onto the ball. He kept the ball longer than he should have. So this is giving it to. There's a couple times he just gave it to Sanders.
Yeah, Miles should have been in there a lot more than he was for the first half.
There was a couple times where they did an RPO, and he pulls the ball back, and I'm like.
Yeah,
and you see Sanders run through untouched. I'm like, maybe you should have let him have the ball.
Right. Yeah. So there were moments that I think it was on Hurts for them runs, and then obviously the 22-yard run. What I think he took an opportunity, and I know they were going back and forth about it with the media, but whether it was called, whether it wasn't, the point was Hurts wasn't supposed to be running that much, honestly. And we know that when he sees something, he's going to take the ball. But the problem was it was the hits. And as a result, we have learned today that he now has a sore non-throwing shoulder, which means he most likely will or will not be ready to start for this Saturday's, which I thought was Sunday, Saturday's Dallas matchup for week 16, which is fine because they only need one to really solidify the number one seed. I have no problem in Minshew taking the helm, although it takes the fun out of a rematch with him and Dak, with Hurts and Dak. But at this point, Dak is probably trying to save his sanity because the Cowboys blew it against the Jags, and Dougie P helped us out with Trevor Trev, and
And shit,
The
they
guy that
almost
caught the interception, Rayshon Jenkins.
Rayshon Jenkins.
You let a Rayshon Jenkins end your game.
Yeah, right.
That was good though, but it was bad.
Yeah, it was. I was watching. I was like, oh shit. I was like, there. At first, I didn't think Dallas scored, and I was like, oh shit, this is over.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I was like, wait, it's OT? Oh shit! Like, what just happened?
I was like, why are they in OT with Jacksonville? But then why was Houston in overtime with the Chiefs? Anything can happen, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Houston almost took one from Dallas last week.
Yeah, so Houston ain't scared of nobody, put it that way.
I mean, if they had took that game from them last week and they lost this week, we definitely would have been sitting half our guys because we would be like way ahead. So.
We're way ahead, yeah. So Dallas is out to save their dignity at this point. It's no more about just Micah Parsons and what he said or didn't say. It's more just so now about Dak trying to prove that he can finish a freaking game at this point.
Can we also talk about one thing?
What?
How fucking bad the Colts are.
Let me just tell you, them motherfuckers, I would have never put money on them.
Oh my God, no.
At all to save us from the embarrassment that became that Vikings game. Okay, that was embarrassing. Matt Ryan got to go to bed every night thinking he cannot come back and finish. What are your thoughts?
All that bad juju that Jeff Irsay is compiled over them. Yeah, look at that. Like, there's no reason why they should not have won that game.
No, and it was really embarrassing because they were up 33-0 in the first half. I mean, you can't tell me Matt Ryan wasn't having flashbacks once they came back.
They scored 3 points the rest of that game. 3 points the rest of that game.
Are you telling me there's no PTSD?
Yeah, right? Did you see the meme of they show Brady like pointing at TV like that? Like the the old Leo? No. I forgot what it was from. Like he's like pointing at it, like look, and he's sitting 33-0, and he's like, he came back on him, so it's like he's like, hey,
he's like, wait for it.
Yeah, right.
Wait for it. That was the joke of the whole day.
I'm like, you mean to tell me they couldn't have got 3 more points somewhere to ice that game? Like
they couldn't buy the end zone by the second half. That's the sad part. And the fact that it got to that point where because honestly, the Vikings still was giving them many opportunities to take that game back. That's what made it even worse. Like it's not like they weren't sucking until they finally started piecing, things together. And
people thinking the Vikings are a good team. They're still frauds. I mean,
they're still frauds. I'm still with everybody who at that point was saying they were frauds in the first half. Like I'm still, even if they came back, which I knew kind of was coming, but I did not see them winning that. I saw them at least coming back, and then all of a sudden, like Colts, like, oh nope, we can't do this.
Yeah,
but what are you gonna do when you just invite a coach mid-season who was a commentator and now he's a coach? You can't get everything going where in your favor all the time. Some of those games that he won were lucky. That's it. I just feel bad for Matt Ryan.
And man, Matty was Matty's probably didn't sleep well tonight after that.
that is a PTSD. Mm-hmm. He's got to put a PTSD clause in his contract if he signs again with anybody. It's like, we cannot. Don't put me through another more than 20 points up.
that may force him into retirement, actually. So.
Look, nobody would blame him at this point. What's the point? Like, I'm stressing myself out every team. Like, this is not fun anymore. I mean, unless he wants to be like Carson and hard-headed, because you can't tell me even during the Washington Giants game, Carson wasn't hoping that his chance was coming to get it, because he was standing there with his coat on like, anytime you're ready.
Right here.
Meanwhile, Heineke's like, chill. Like, and then I have to admit that call at the end of that game last night was clearly PI. But refs been sitting on their flags. So, because there were a lot of stuff in our game that they could have called, especially on Alshon. I mean, Alshon. Hello. On AJ. AJ was covered like a demon, yet he still made all those incredible catches as he should do.
Yeah.
But dude was over him like white on rice half the time. So there should at least been a couple.
There should have been one. There should have been one PI in that whole thing.
At least one.
I got away with like 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
and I think
but
partially
hey,
the reason why Hurts is hurt is because I think he got clotheslined at least once or twice. I think he got dragged by the neck a couple times. That could have contributed to the shoulder strain.
But it seemed like they were letting him play.
They were, which
Yeah.
kills me because they choose the weirdest times to decide to sit on all their flags. You know, the week before they were just Flag Nation, and now all of a sudden it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Let it slide. But all in all, I'm very happy that Dallas Goedert be back because I think part of the reason why the offense got stagnant quickly because not only was Hurts taking on it to score the most, you know, than everybody else. I think that Dallas kind of helps move when there isn't any visible way to keep the ball going on. Because I think the reason why, too, when they finally did use Miles and then he fumbled, it was like, no!
Yeah.
I was like, that's what it was.
That was also borderline not being a catch.
Yeah.
You know, it was like
it was
of being an incomplete pass, like because the guy like they claim he's like it's like he barely made a football move, but he kind of did. I'm like
yeah. And then I'm trying to wonder what the hell a football move is at that point. What are they trying to say? Like he advanced or something? What was the football move?
Like he took a couple steps with the ball and had the ball in possession. It was tough because it was tight. It could have went either way. So I was just like, but you know what? It didn't stop us from winning, so it's fine.
And he got a free run actually later in the game, but I mean, not that it mattered, but it did help. But I just felt like it made sense. It's windy. Their kicker missed. Jalen was saying his hands were numb. Why didn't you run the ball at least the first series?
But you saw once they did start running the ball,
right? It worked.
Like, at the end, it was working. Like you gotta like.
I don't understand why that's even a doubt. If you're in a city called the Windy City and it's cold, why wouldn't that be your first instinct to just see how your running backs look, and then you can resort to using Jalen like maybe mid first quarter. Like I don't see that's where and I know some of that stuff is Jalen's just his instinct to run. I get it, but you can tell it was too much, and that's why I'm not shocked that he's injured today. But I also don't want to co-sign with the naysayers who can't wait to say, oh, he's not sustainable. All that stuff's going to start all over again now. And if he doesn't play this weekend, apparently that what I'm seeing from the chatter boxes is that it may affect his MVP because he has to finish all regular. He still
scored 3 touchdowns the other night yesterday.
No, I agree. It was a bad game for him to almost have 400 yards. I do not think that's a problem. You know. But him and Mahomes, to me, both are those kind of guys that will do that stuff more consistently. I think Josh Allen had a good weekend too, as well as Joe Burrow coming back and beating Tom. So there are a lot of guys out there that are candidates, but just like we had to sit through with Joel, you know, seeming like he was the MVP from day one last season and he didn't get it. It's going to be the same with her.
Joe Burrow's not a candidate. I'm sorry.
He's not. No, he's just recently being thrown in. I think they just want to mess it up now.
Josh Allen's not a candidate. I'm sorry.
No, he's not. He's shown a lot of cracks this year. But I mean, I just feel like that's the face they want to personify.
It's still a 2-man race, and that's it. Like
it's Mahomes and Hurts. Yeah,
it'd be straight disrespectful if somebody else finishes with more votes than him, other than Patrick.
Yeah.
If anybody else other than Patrick beats him out for that, then this league is fucked up.
Well, it's rigged. It's rigged, just like the NBA. That's why I think it was so obvious that Joel should have won last season, and I think they were just doing it because they don't like the fact that he was whining about it or the fact he was injured most of the season. I'm like, when is he not injured? 1, 2, when has it stopped him from playing?
He still puts up crazy numbers. Like,
for a center that actually can shoot like he's a regular shooter. Like I think that all that should exempt the fact that he's a freak of nature in terms of basketball.
That still makes me mad. The fact that Jokic like gets it all the time. I'm like,
really? and doesn't even seem to care. That's what annoys me most. Like he's so flippant about it, and I just want to be like, all right, well then don't take it.
You give it to him. Like, I'm like,
that's why I say some stuff is just bent on popularity. Some things you just can't mess the system for it. So. Yeah. We all know he deserved to win. People who didn't even care for Embiid were caping for him last season.
All the other players are like,
Other players who don't even like his ass were just like, oh, come on, he's the MVP. Oh, speaking of which, there was a comment that was made under Jalen's posting or whoever posted for Jalen on his IG, and Trayvon Diggs said MVP. So now I'm like, I don't think Dak will appreciate that, sir. Even if Dak was nowhere for the MVP, the fact he said it.
Diggs have been around so long, like he knows. Like,
well, not even Stephon Diggs. It was Trevon.
Trayvon Diggs, okay.
Trayvon Diggs. That's why I said, I'm like, you too new to be caping over here, son.
Yeah, right.
You know, I don't know if he's trying to make up for Micah's comments, but he put that under the comments right away. And everyone, I was like, even I retweeted like, huh? You forgot who your quarterback is? Like, you ain't supposed to cape. Like, but whatever. I mean, respect is respect. And that was the one thing I think Jalen made a point in his postseason to say is that you have to understand, like, I respect every team I play. Like, I'm not sitting here caring about my stats. I'm sitting here saying that was a good team and it was cold. You know, and honestly, like I said, we should all be lucky that that's the only thing that's reported is injured, because he could be in worse shape, really. Yeah. And for him talking about, you know how many times people mentioned Anita Baker today since he said he listens to Anita Baker. They were the best show ever. I had Jen Sporto put Rapture on one of the segments because I had requested it because they were playing Sweet Love and everything, and I said you gotta play Rapture now, Jen. So she put it on there, and they were all like, "Yep."
Nice.
Come on, caught up in the Rapture. I don't care. It could be auntie of me, but come on, let's respect Anita Baker. That's a classic lady. But no, but it was a good game. But I have to say I was very annoyed for the first half because I said, this is a dumb strategy. Like, why did y'all think that was smart? You know what I mean? Because even if he did do as many times as he ran, it would have been half of what he needed to do for that whole game, and he probably would still be okay. But granted, he probably just putting some icy hot on that crap and just taking a pill and chilling and wonder why everybody's still talking about it for.
Yeah, right.
Like, he's been studying, Dallas the week of, regardless of whether he's playing or not. I mean, honestly, it would not shock me if he still plays like a little bit and they take him out maybe after the first 4 or something, and then they use Gardner. Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if that happens, because I have a feeling he's not going to want to sit down right away. Like, he's going to be.
He's too much of a competitor. He is not. And his game is big. Like,
yeah, I mean, he's going to want this game more out of the last 3 than the other 2. Like, there's no point in the Giants, and the Saints game won't mean anything either. So I just think it's Gardner's time to shine because he wants to start so bad. And clearly, homie doesn't want to be here another year as a backup. So I think this should be.
Hey, look, man, you can pay me to be a backup. So I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying, to me, look, that is the best time to slack. Like, if there's anyone who knows how to be a professional backup quarterback, it's either Nick Foles or Sam Bradford. And Nick did pretty well in his life. So, even without football, I'll tell you the truth. But being a backup to me is not that bad, honestly.
I mean, you get to be Gardner's a backup on a great team.
And honestly, if he'd had the weapons when he was back in, what was he originally at? Jaguars. If he was probably in the system that Trevor is now, he probably would have been better. He just needed the right coaching around him. And that seems to be the case for most guys who suddenly flourish somewhere else, even if they're a flat backup. They just need the right system. So, I mean, honestly, there's going to be a lot of quarterback openings next year, honestly, because there's going to be a lot of draft picking. And there's going to be a lot of coaches fired because there's a lot of middle. Like tonight's game is not even worth watching, but I'm going to just watch it because I'm a sucker for watching Baker.
So no,
he's horrible comedy.
Sad thing is, end up putting them on to fall asleep sometimes. So
no, I know. You and me both said Monday night and Thursday are good ways to go to bed early.
Yep, exactly.
Even if you half watch like I do, but I do watch them religiously unless I'm really tired. But I'll watch it from the beginning, see what happens. But if it's too much of a wash early, it might get the snap early. But honestly, as far as you, I don't care what happens. I do think our team is capable of beating even now, whether or not it be Hurts or not. I don't know about you.
I think they still. I mean, it's not like Gardner's a slouch. So I mean, they still got a good shot. They still got a good shot.
He's entertaining, so I'll put it that way. I'm prepared to laugh during this game, like just because the way he is.
I mean, look what the Dallas defense gave up. They almost lost to the Texans, and who's their quarterback again? I always forget his name.
Nobody knows.
So that's the thing. Like, look, this
Quinn
guy
something.
Is it
Garnet Quinn something.
Then you got Lawrence. I mean, Lawrence is solid. He's coming into his own. But half the time nobody cares about how he plays. It's just the fact that he looks like he should be on the cover of shampoo hair bottle. I call him Sunshine. Like, remember the
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
QB Sunshine.
Yeah. But look at they gave up almost 500 yards to that offense. over 500 yards to that offense, which is
that's why Michael
insane.
Irvin said he was more mad at the Cowboys defense than he was at Dak, because
that's sad. Like,
there's no reason to be giving that many yards to them. Yeah. I mean, but honestly, look, realistically, the Giants helped them get in the playoffs last night. They were already doing fine. There was no way to avoid them not getting into the playoffs because we're all making it pretty much in this division. So,
well, the Washington can see themselves getting pushed out if they don't.
Well,
win.
Yeah.
They don't win out.
Yeah,
they don't win out, and Detroit could sneak in. The scary part is,
I am hoping, because that would be so much fun. I think that would be the best sleeper team of the playoffs is Detroit.
Yeah, but I don't want them to be that last seed. They're going to have to come. Well, they're going to have to come through Philly though if they do.
Well, we can beat them again.
Yeah,
we can beat them again. It's just going to be more embarrassing because we're going to want it more. We're going to be like 45 points on your ass.
It ain't gonna be that close. It ain't gonna be that close shit, right?
It might come down to 50 if we feel like it. Like it might be a whoops, whooping. But no, I mean, I just like this. I agree. Like I like the story of, especially for Campbell, because I feel like he's tried so hard to be, especially with the little bit that they gave him Hard Knocks. I didn't really watch all of it. I told you I like watching the Around the NFL crew cover it, but their story is very interesting because it's the first time that they've seen like a contender in like God knows how long. Mm-hmm. So, and anybody in below our division can pretty much make it. So I feel like if you're going to entertain me, darn it, for this last couple of seasons, like I want to see them go for it. I'm ready for the Detroit to make it, because you know how hyped they would be in Detroit. You're going to have people that never went to a game buying tickets. Like
it'd be hilarious. And I hate to say, it'd be hilarious if the Seahawks and the Lions push out the Giants and the Redskins.
I'd be happy for Geno, because I didn't see Geno being like this at all. And so I think he's proven everybody wrong. So if he slips in there too, that'd be good, because I hated to see him lose that last game. That they almost should have came back and got that. But what you gonna do? There's a lot of sweetheart spots going on, but there's also just a lot of bad football still to watch. It's just hard. Like you know what I mean? Like tonight and Thursday is just pain. Like
it's like
it gets worse every week.
Like that brutal ass AFC South.
I mean, this is the time you want to hate the owners for that 17th week, because you're gonna be like, really? You really wanted this?
You wanted this shit?
greedy asses got Thursday night and Saturday and Sunday. Like us fans love it, but we're watching crap right now. It's nothing but crap. It's only like 4 games that are worth watching now until the playoffs. It's really bad. But what are you gonna do? Sure. Y'all gotta do more skits. Like, thank God for the 2 Manning brothers on certain nights, because they do make some of them games a little more interesting.
Oh yeah, to watch them do it.
Night. Yeah. So, but I'm not worried about Hurts. I'm sure he's literally somewhere chilling, probably in the gym, maybe in a hyperbaric chamber.
Yeah, right.
We know he's a method QB, so he's not sweating none of us right now.
Nah,
but,
he doesn't.
Yeah,
he's not. He's just like, all right. That's all he's doing. He's like, all right, we're good. I'll be good.
Well, let's just hope that Smitty, because he's getting closer to 1,000. So let's just hope that
he's right there. He's close.
Let's just hope that Gardner can find him, because we all know that AJ don't need it. Zach Pascal might be a decoy this weekend. But it'll be good to see if Smitty can break his 1,000 for this game, because if there's any
Dallas
game,
is going to be in on AJ anyway. So
this is the point. AJ always creates double teams, so I'm praying that Dallas and Smitty get some looks in the end zone. And if not, I'm mad I missed that Boston. I just saw him posted Boston stats a 58-yarder punt return. Mm-hmm. I was mad I missed that. I was because I wanted so bad for him to break one, and I said,
he almost broke another one. I was like,
because he starts looking like Sproles, and then people will say, "Oh, he's so slow." I'm like, no, that is Sproles Jr.
He's just
when he's gone, he's gone.
It's not the fact that he's slow. I wish his legs were a little longer so he can cover some more distance.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why. What's his name when he was here? Everybody knows that famous clip of on the sidelines during the Super Bowl with what's his name?
What's his name?
Deuce saying that was the slowest ass turn.
Oh no, it was
during the Giants game. Not Super Bowl.
It was a giant. He was like,
yes.
Man, he's like, man, he said they're gonna lower my rating in Madden for this shit.
That was dude we got from Miami.
Yeah, Ajayi, yeah.
Right, Ajayi, but I'm saying when Boston Deuce came to him and said that was the
yes.
slowest ass turn. It was during the Giants game when it rained. Because he did that little turn because he didn't realize he had that much space. And he was like, he goes, and then the first thing he said to him goes, first of all, that was the slowest ass turn I've ever seen. Yes. He was like, I didn't even know where I was.
Oh man, yeah, I remember that.
But Ajayi was the one that what's his name? The other running back was telling him.
I love they all were clowning him on the. They were calling him on the sideline. They were clowning him on the sideline.
Yeah.
So how you let the boy run you down? So he's like,
that's how I know AJ must have felt because he didn't finish his run. He said he straight up said he goes, I'm sorry, I ain't gonna lie. He goes, I lost gas, but I was like, I had a feeling.
You can tell.
I had a feeling he was slowing up. Like he started looking back. I was like, oh, he about to lose it. He ain't gonna make it. I said, AJ, come on, turn it up.
And he goes down at the 2 or something.
Because he was sitting there going, oh God, I'm gonna hear this when I get back. Because everybody said you couldn't finish your run.
And you know, Quez was fucking with him on the sideline, probably.
Oh yeah, because Quez was like, I'm stuck doing all these dumbass sweeps, and you couldn't even finish the run. Because I said, why are they using Quez that way? That's how you know they had a bad plan. Because I'm like, Shane, really with the sweeps? Because even Seth called it out at the post game.
One thing I didn't like about it when they did the sweep, there wasn't enough numbers on the side to block.
Right.
Which was
and that's why it looked stupid every time they attempted it. Or a lateral. Don't do that.
No, I was like, if you go, you need another body over there. If you had another body over there.
And the fact that they kept redoing it just was like, why don't you just keep bashing your head against the wall? You just run it out of plays when you keep repeating the same thing. I love
the one play they did when they went to the line. And they got to the line, and it confused the shit out of Chicago. They got to the line. It was like at the 1, and each guy, like all the ends, like slid out.
They moved over.
Jerky, he moved out. He ran past, tapped the other guy. He went that way.
Yeah.
And I was like, everybody was like, "What the fuck is going on? What's going on?"
Wait, was that why Cam was in for Kelsey?
Well, no, he was there too.
Oh, he was there. Okay, because that's why I was confused when they said Cam. I said, "Wait, when did Kelsey go out to play?" I'm like, I didn't notice.
Because then Kelsey reported. It was funny because Kelsey reported as eligible.
Okay.
For that play, and he was like, and all of a sudden, the whole line shifted over, and Kelsey is in front of the ball. Jerky's over here, Phelps over here, and they went heavy on this side. All of a sudden, all the Chicago players like, oh shit, they're going this way, and then Jalen just walks into walks right into the 2-point conversion. Yeah. I was like, yeah.
And only one guy grabbed him in time and tripped him up.
But he was already in the end zone at that point.
He just tripped him up. Yeah. I remember seeing that because I was confused because when they said Cam Jurgens, I said, wait, when did Kelsey? Because in my head I said, Kelsey's tired of these QB sneaks. He said, let me get out of this play real quick. Let me get some breath.
Well, that's when they ran their jumbo package. They had all those guys out there.
Shit, you don't want that. You don't want that.
Kelsey, and because the play before that, Jerky was out there too. I was like, what is going on?
Okay.
I was like, they had the line loaded. They're like,
that's why in my head I said to myself, I was nervous because I said Kelsey's probably like sick of the quarterback sneak, so they probably like we need some more weight on the line because he's starting to get tired. Because we always talk about how he hates the back-to-back quarterback sneak because they always make them.
And they got to get so low to the ground. You see those guys? They get low and they push that whole line back.
And the funny thing is, you can tell when the guys on the outside are like, all we got to do is go. Like Zach Pascal sometimes be out there and be like, you
yeah, they get that leverage. They get that leverage. Next thing you know.
Yeah.
But the one and the guy, I was like, why was the Chicago player literally lined up he was literally lined up on our side of the line almost. He was like, his helmet was touching.
That's what they were talking about in slow motion. Yeah, I don't know who it was.
Literally, his helmet was literally touching the Eagles player's helmet. I was like, does he even realize what he's doing?
That's what they kept pointing out. They said, yo, did you see where his helmet is? I think it was like, I forget who the commentators were, but they were saying
his hands too. His hands are above the ball. I'm like,
yeah.
Does this guy realize he's lined up like
he's literally in his shirt, like head in his jersey. Yeah. That's what they were talking about. And I saw the replay and I was like, oh God, they did go low.
Like, how do you make that mistake?
Because at some point, I think, you know what, I'm sure mentally that's when the time when, the players getting tired and they start to tap out. They just start finding an excuse to kind of do something stupid just to get me out. Like, I want to be done with this whole play right now.
Yeah.
But no, they do get low because at the time I think they got it trained. Like Jalen just get on top of Kelsey and they just push through. Because you could tell when they weren't pacing it and they weren't huddling, they just went right to it. Chicago's like, oh crap, That's smart. I mean, you got to just keep momentum. That's why I'm glad I didn't do that injury crap too
Somebody
much.
falls down and catches.
Yeah,
I got a cramp.
They got 2 players back to back in the beginning. Like I didn't think the first quarter was going to end because I felt like they had injuries early, like back to back.
I hope that one guy hurt his neck. Hope he's all right.
Yeah, the one guy that had to cart off. I feel bad for that player. I hope he's okay. I hope it was just a stinger or something, because sometimes that can be easy in the cold.
I mean, he had a neck injury, and they were like, "Oh, they did the right thing, though. They were like, yeah, we're gonna take him out because
it was scary. It was scary to have that many players like in the first minute or two of the game is a little scary, because then you always wonder, it's like how bad was due before the game started.
Yeah, right.
But all right, well, we know now what the gist of the team is going to be. I'm not shook. If anything, I was praying we could actually have a full squad for this last game, because this is to me, every Dallas game is important no matter where it is. But I understand if they just, for precaution's sake, act like they're going to use Jalen, but they're probably not. Most likely, we know it's Minshew mania, and he did good during that Jets game when Jalen couldn't go. So I wouldn't put it past them. We'll see. I think it'll be funny either way.
Hey, what do we see? We may see a half out of Jalen if he feels up to it.
Nothing shocks me. I mean, like you said, this brother is trying to keep his record, and I think he knows he's on a roll. And the minute he starts to feel a little stale, he's going to be like, "Get me out there." Did you see the quote that before we wrap? Did you see the tweet that Jeff McClain put out about what was said when Jalen was down?
No.
Okay, I did post it on my page because
I gotta look up. Yeah.
Even Terry saw it. She said basically Lane said he told the reporter, he said at the time when Jalen was down long, he goes, I just said stay down, and he said next thing I know Jalen said, get me the fuck up, and he said yes. He said yes sir.
He said yes
he
sir.
Pulled him up. He told him to stay down, and he said, please get me the fuck up.
He's like, yes, sir.
I didn't even question it because, some people say don't move because they're worried about you, Yeah. But Jalen was like, if you don't get me the freak up right now.
Like, I need to go. Let's go.
I need to go. Like, stop looking at me. Get up. Because, he did take a while because they usually have to get a breath. And I remember thinking, here we go.
Right, like, yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, is he just doing this to get a breath? Because he was kind of just laying there for a second. He was like,
yeah. And I totally understood. Yeah, because at that point it was back to back. So I said, he just needs a minute. Give him a minute. But knowing that's what Lane said was head in the huddle, I cracked up. I said, you have no choice but to laugh at that. Because even Jalen was like, stop looking at me. Just get up.
Stay down.
You say yes, sir. But that was good. No, but so we're looking forward to another week of exciting Eagles football, regardless of who's starting. I'm not worried, and like I said, the Saints game I think will be more interesting now because it's going to determine who's going to really start at all for that game.
Well, if we win this game, they're going to miss you starting against the Saints.
Regardless, yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're not going to waste keeping them in.
Oh, that's right. Saints is home. Okay, they don't have to go to New Orleans. This is the last away game, right?
Yeah, because we had 3 on the road, right?
Yeah, this is the third. Okay, that went quick, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because I remember we were just talking about like they have an away stretch. They won't be home until the new year
stretch. Yeah. So
yeah.
That's the last one. Get to go to Jerry's world.
Jera. This will be hilarious in so many ways because they're going to cut to him if they lose.
Yeah.
He's gonna try to keep that Skeletor face like he's not really pissed off or his face is frozen.
Yeah, that's true. That's what he's gonna do.
Anyway, all right. Well, good luck, Dallas fans, because y'all been cutting up for a week early. So I hope y'all got all your jokes out of your system because we've got other things to worry about now.
Everybody's like, oh, they're looking ahead to the Eagles. That's why they lost. And I'm like, stop making excuses for these motherfuckers.
First of all, y'all should have minded y'all business for your game because apparently y'all weren't focused. Don't worry about over here. Take care of your stuff.
You're like, oh, they're looking past past Jacksonville. What, they look past the Texans too because they almost lost to the Texans.
I'm saying y'all ain't been focused to be worried about it over here. Ain't nobody up here in Pennsylvania was worried about your asses for 2 weeks, and here you go talking about us. Thanks for the free press, though. We appreciate it.
Exactly. Thanks
Edward.
Thanks for letting us live free inside your head, right?
Thank you. Rent free, as they love to say. But all right, tonight, so the Sixers have to go for 5. So me and Eddie will be at the Pistons game Wednesday night. Yay! May or may not send a video. I might do it. I just might do it on my own. Just grab him and just be like, "Hey, we're here. Bye."
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so tonight they're playing the Raptors. So apparently, if they win tonight, it's win number 5. Let's hope that they actually put out a good game, because anything with the Raptors, they're the reasons why Embiid has 2 broken orbital bones. So let's just pray that his inner Cameroon king comes out tonight and just sends them all back to Toronto.
Exactly.
All right. Till we meet again for another Birds of a Feather, the Co-Ed edition. I'm your girl, AJ the Suburban Princess.
And Eddie B.
Eddie B. And we'll be back and we'll talk to y'all later. Fly, Eagles, fly. Go, Birds. Don't panic. We're okay.
It's not. We're good. We're good.
It's really not a big deal. Just listen to some Anita Baker. All right. Get caught up in the rapture tonight, kids. All right. See y'all later. Bye.